So, anyways, you guys, I'm fortunate enough that I was able to attend college for the past year and a half, and I really went back because of you guys. About a year and a half ago, I was just drunk and stoned out of my mind, and I thought of an idea of making my own currency. Yeah, but the software and making it, I've been just trying to figure it out for the past while. It's been really hard, so I decided to go out to college to try to get a degree in computer science. And I went back to college, and it's been really, really fun, and I've learned quite a bit. I've learned a lot about history and art for the past thousands of years, and a little bit of math, a lot of astronomy, some anthropology. What else? What else have I taken? Anthropology, math, software programming, politics. What did I do the semester before last semester? Man, I just forget it all so easily. That's what sucks about it. You just forget all this shit. Oh, I learned about psychology a lot. I took a psychology class, but for now, I just want to talk about my history class. Now, what's interesting about college history is they go a little more in depth beyond what you learn in high school. Of course, it's college, but most people in high school they only go back to 1776. America was founded. Columbus, blah 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 blah, all that gay shit. But what's cool about college, it goes back like 5 to 7,000 years to the place called Samaria. Samaria was like the first human large city that existed, and it was cool. But you're probably wondering, why is history important? Who cares? But what's relevant about history is we can learn about today's world and our own society here in the United States. Believe it or not, we're really, really, really controlled here in the United States, and we're very isolated from one another. Oh no, that's right. I took anthropology. That's another great class I took. But getting back to it, we're very controlled here in the United States, and we're very isolated from one another. So another thing you can learn from looking at art from the past few centuries is people came together to make stuff, and you really had a more in-depth understanding of one another. But anyways, getting back to history, one thing that really stood out in my mind that I remember from the history class was European history. In like the 14th century, some obscure town in Europe, they decided to just the people came together and just decided to basically rule themselves, have their own sense of justice, or take justice into their own hands, more or less. Here in the United States, we got to go through this complex, expensive justice system that everyone just gives up and lets the state enact justice, and then that creates a lot of gross inequality within our society. That's what I took from history, was from European history. Of course, there's a lot more history, like in Africa. They were insanely rich in like the year 900. They just traded so much gold, and I don't know why, but they traded a lot of spices. Who cares about spices? But they were trading this stuff all across Africa, and they traded that with each other, and they got really rich. I remember this one guy in Africa, this African dude. He was so rich, he had so much gold. He would go to other African cities and just give it away or spend it so much that it would depreciate their gold in their city and cause inflation for like an entire decade. But that was that history that I remember. Of course, there's more history like the Greeks and the Egyptians. Getting to the Greeks, oh yeah, that's right. I took a logic class. Logic is a really, really good class. If you ever want to get into discussions with people and you can kind of tell that they're bullshitting, you can get this like cheat sheet kind of thing in logic class. You can tell what logical fallacies, in other words, how the person's trying to lie to you. You can get that from your logic class. It's really, really, really cool. You see what logical fallacies people in the news or their discussions are using, especially here on Spite Nation. It comes in really handy. Um, what else did I learn? Psychology is really cool. You learn a lot of just basic input, output, what your brain does, as well as various disorders of the mind and so called societal norms that we've become accustomed to. Things like that. Um, Psychology, history, art. Art was really cool because you can really get to know yourself and others a lot better, past and present. What else did I take last semester? Oh, yeah, a lot of astronomy. I took a ton of astronomy. I took astronomy, um, lecture, so the 100 or the 101 class last semester, the semester before last semester, I took that class. That was an awesome class. I learned everything from how the ancients thought of the cosmos, as they called it, all the way to where we are today in 2017, where we don't know what's going on with our universe. Let's just say this right here, where my finger is one point in the universe, and this right here is the extent we can see the edge of our so-called universe. But if that point was over here, then over here, where that original point was, that would be the extent of the universe, because light only travels at a certain speed as it crosses the universe. But as light's moving, the universe itself is expanding. The light from 14 billion light years away can't go faster than the speed of the expansion, the added up expansion of our universe. In other words, we just can't see stuff because the light can't catch up to it. We can only see out 14 billion light years. But what if we were to travel 14 billion light years from where we are, we couldn't see Earth because the light from Earth couldn't catch up to the expansion, the added expansion of our universe, because it moves faster than the speed of light, the added up distance, that is. So let's just say we had just our solar system, for example. Just the space in our solar system, it's being stretched and expanded maybe a few feet or a few meters per second. Probably a few feet, if not only a few inches. But that little stretching from our solar system to the end of our Milky Way galaxy to billions of Milky Way galaxies on the other side of our universe, that's a lot of stretching, and it keeps it that far away. Well, that's it for now. I'll bring more and more and more stuff that I learned for future. Bye.